Hi everyone, let's talk about TNA Gold Rush Week 1, which was a fun show, but why did we have to have Tatum Paisley lose her title that quick? Tatum Paisley should have had a longer title reign. She should have had a longer freaking title reign. But anyways, let's talk about it anyways, guys. So we had Chelsea Green and Eden Page with Eberfire facing Thea Hill and Joe Henry for the AAA World Mixed Tag Team titles. Let's talk about it, guys. Hill and Green begin the action, and the bell rings, and Hill delivers a kick to Green's chest, and she mocks Green by waving her hand in the air for her. But Page and Joe Henry tag in, and Joe Henry and Eden Page lock up. But Joe Hendry delivers a delay throws suplex to Eden Page and goes for a pin, and Chelsea Green breaks the fall and sends Thea Hill crashing into the top turnbuckle face first as Joe Hendry brawls with Eden Page, but Thea Hill dropkicks Green into Page. Then Hendry delivers, again, Joe Hendry levels Eden Page with a back elbow and goes for a pin during the commercial break, but Eden Page kicks out and lands an open palm strike on Joe Hendry, and he rains down right hands on Joe Hendry, but Chelsea Green rakes Joe Hendry's across the bottom rope while Eden Page distracts the ref. Then Eden Page jams his boot into Joe Hendry's face and then lands a cold breaker on Joe Henry's back from the break and then goes for a pin. Then Joe Henry kicks out, but Eden Page wears him down with a front face lock, and then Joe Henry counters into a first suplex, and then it follows it up with a fallaway slam and a kick up, and then Thea Hill then tags in and delivers a coffin drop to Eden Page, then Everfire off the bottom rope onto the outside, then Eden Page sends Joe Henry crashing into the ring apron, spine first, but Chelsea Green sends Thea Hill crashing into the ring apron, and then she dumps Thea Hill in the ring, but Thea Hill launches in a Cabrera lock on Chelsea Green, and Chelsea Green escapes and connects with the Imperior on Thea Hill, then pins her for the win, and that's how Chelsea Green and Eden Page retain the mixed AAA World titles, guys. I'll say it again. That's how Chelsea Green and Eden Page retain the AAA World Mixed Tag Team titles, guys. Then we then head backstage where Everrain explains that the first person will be selected all the competitors in the men's and women's Iron Survivor Challenge at NXT Deadline, and it's John Cena. Then heads over to Sarah, Sarah the backstage interviewer standing by with Devon Heights in the crowd, and Heights plans his case to Cena for completing in this year's Men Iron Survivor Challenge, but Josh Brooks blindsides him out of nowhere and the part begins brawling with one another. Then we head backstage and we see Saria, I was thinking Saria asks Soruka if she wants to challenge Blake Monroe for the Women's North American Championship, and Soruka, since she's good to compete. Then back at ringside, Blake Monroe then makes her way out, and Soruka and Saria follow, and we had Blake Monroe fences Soruka, which I don't blame them having Blake Monroe retaining the NXT North American Championship, but I really hope in the future Soruka gets another opportunity because she didn't really lose that title. You know what I'm saying? Because of the injury thing that she had for the few weeks that she was gone. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, let's carry this on, guys. So the bell rings and the two lock up, and Ruka rolls up Monroe, but Monroe kicks out, and Ruka sends her crashing into the mat with a spinning face. I'll say again, a spinning front face slam, and she follows it up with a twist kick to her head. But Blake Monroe fires off kicks on Soruka's injury knee and rinses on it to continue targeting it. And Soruka escapes and delivers a shotgun and dropkick to Blake Monroe, then sends her crashing into the corner, then sending her knee bouncing off the ring post twice. And then back from the break, Monroe sends Ruka crashing into the top turnbuckle repeatedly. Then Sol Ruka launches a bow and arrow on Blake Monroe and then sends her crashing into the mat face first with a kick to her spine, then follows it up with a standing moonsault to her, and then Blake Monroe sends Sol Ruka's knee bouncing off her shoulder and mocks Sol Ruka by pretending her own knee's injured, then plants Sol Ruka's leg on the bottom rope and sits out on it. And then back from the break, Sol Ruka lands a missile drop kick on Blake Monroe off the middle rope and follows it up with a knee strike. And then she goes for a pin, but Blake Monroe kicks out, then rocks Sol Ruka with a headbutt. Then Sol Ruka delivers a moonsault to Blake Monroe off the bottom rope onto the outside, but Blake Monroe delivers a chomp block to Sol Ruka back inside the ring, then locks in a half Boston Crab on her. Then Sol Ruka escapes, but Blake Monroe rips up her knee brace and then tosses it all the way up the entrance ramp. And then Sol Ruka rolls up Blake Monroe, but Blake Monroe kicks out and launches back in, and Sol Ruka's knee being able to take it anymore. And then Saria founds a white towel at ringside and throws it in the ring to call of the match as she means of calling off the match on Sol Ruka's behalf. And that's how Blake Monroe won with that. It was still a good match, but Saria didn't need to freaking do that. I'm sorry to say that, but that tells you right there, there's a story between Saria and Sol Ruka. They're going to have Saria as the heel. I think they're going to have Saria as the heel and Sol Ruka as the babyface. And they're going to build this whole thing between those two. And who I'm going for in that storyline is Sol Ruka, because she deserves to get another opportunity for this North American title because she never lost it. Sorry to say that, but I'm that kind of person. If you lose your title by injury and you get cost again, you deserve to get in another one till you really win it, because you didn't really lose it, if that makes any sense. But that's just my opinion. And I know there's going to be people saying, "Oh, well, this, that." But why should a wrestler not get an opportunity till they win it? Because they never lost it because of an injury. But that's just me. That's just me. If you don't like it, go watch somebody else, like I said. Then Ricky Saints then makes his way to the ring and Oba Femi follows. Then we have Ricky Saints and Oba Femi meet one another in the ring. And we have Ricky Saints says he knows Oba Femi would show up again sooner than later and says he wouldn't surprise he returned last week, but says that many were shocked when he dethroned Oba Femi as NXT champion at NXT No Mercy. And he says he told Oba Femi that the NXT championship was wearing him down. Then says he saw his opportunity and took it. And he says Oba Femi underestimates him and says that people like Oba Femi can't handle losing. And he says, well, Oba Femi was in Nigeria. He was in NXT dealing with Trick Williams, and says Oba Femi is wrong and since he will take the NXT championship from him. Then Oba Femi says Ricky Saints hasn't changed his absence, but that's a good thing because he wants to beat the same version of himself. He says he doesn't want to come back during the issue between NXT and TNA Wrestling, or when Ricky Saints and Trick Williams were battling. I'll say again, battling to back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Saints and Trick Williams were battling it out to see who has the best dress. Then says he wants back. He went. I'll say it again. Then he says he went back home to train and become the best version of himself. Then Oba Femi says Ricky Saints has had his time in the sun, but the sun is settling and he's causing a shadow on Sane. And he says the ruler is back and his daddy is home. Then Ricky Saints has since the NXT Championship match to Oba Femi at NXT Deadline, but Trick Williams music hits and he makes his way out and he says he told Ricky Saints he wasn't done with him till he's done back his NXT championship. But Miles Bourne appears out of nowhere and hits Williams with a chair and tells Williams that Payback is and falls to a since Furious in the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline, then goes on to challenge for the NXT Championship at NXT New Year's Evil. Then back from the break, we head over to Eva Rain's office and we see her betraying Miles Bourne for getting involved in the conversation between Ricky Saints and Obafemi and Trick Williams before we see Josh Brooks and the Von Heights still brawling with one another. Then back at ringside, Leon Slater and Devon Evans make their way to the ring of Dark State. And you know who won this match, guys? Dark State retained the tag team titles. In my opinion on this match was good, but I would love to see Leon and freaking Devon as a tag team. Oh man, imagine them as a tag team on NXT. That would be so good. That would be so damn good. But it didn't happen, you know. But let's talk about the match, guys. The bell rings and Slater and Evans level Lenson, Lexus, and on and Osiris Griffin with super kicks, and they sent Griffin crashing out of the ring with a double super kick before Evans flips over the top rope to take out Griffin and James and Grusher on the outside, and Lixness fired off right hands on Slater in the ring, and Griffin connects with an over the shoulder power slam to him, and he goes for a pin, but Devon Evans flips off the top rope to break the fall. Then Devon Evans then tags in and lands a drop kick on Dark State, one of the Dark State members, Lex Nix, before he pins him. But Lex Nix kicks out and tags in Leon Slater, and Leon Slater holds Lex Nix in place for Devon Evans to deliver a double X handle on Lex Nix, and Griffin tagged in and rocked Evan with a right hand, then tags out to Lexon. Then Lexon and Griffin take turns taking in and out to wear out. Then Devon Evans during the break and stuff, and then back in, Devon Evans fires up forearms on Griffin, and then Lex Nix tags back in. Then Devon Evans levels Lex Nix with a knee strike back from the break, then tags in Leon Slater, and Leon Slater fires off right hands on Griffins, then who tags back in on his side, then into the corner, then levels him with a super kick and connects with a springboard back elbow on him, then delivers a crossbody to him off the top rope and goes for a pin, but Griffin kicks out. Then Evans delivers a flipping kick to level Griffin, and Leon Slater connects with a spinning powerbomb on Lexus. Then Griffin runs out Leon Slater with a shoulder tackle, then tags in Lex Nix. Then Lex Nix and Griffin then deliver a double powerbomb to Leon Slater, and Nix's pins him, but Devon Evans looks to break the fall with a splash. Then James pulls Lex Nix out of the way, and Evans and lands on Leon Slater by mistake, and Lex Nix dumps Evans out of the ring, then tags in Griffin and Nixon then deliver a doomsday device to Leon Slater for the win, and that's how Dark State retained the NXT Tag Team titles. Then we had the Final Influence make their way to the ring, and the cooling followed, and we had Tatum Paisley with the cooling with JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. In my opinion, this was a great match, but why short title reign for Tatum Paisley? Tatum Paisley's deserved a better title reign than that. I swear, I freaking swear. I swear, man. If they don't know how to use this woman, she would be doing good for the indies. I'm telling you, if you have Tatum Paisley go to the indies, she would do a lot of great shit in the indies. Sorry my language again. I'm going to say she would do a lot of good stuff in the indies. She would do a lot of great stuff in the indies. No ifs or buts about it. No ifs or buts about it, you people. Tatum Paisley would be great for the independents. And all you freaking WWE fans that are freaking E-drones, you would say, oh, I'm happy she's gone. Screw you, man. Get the freaking out of my community. Get out of my freaking community. But anyways, I'll carry on, guys. That's a CJ killer you're getting today. I'm sorry, you got too much CJ killer today. But I love this CJD 2006. It's more easier, but carry on. So the bell rings into two lockup, and Tatum Paisley delivers a overhead chomp to JC Jane, but JC Jane responds with one of her own. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. So, like I said again, I'll be right back, guys. This match was good. Boom, 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 bang, 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 bang. But the decision, guys, you know what I'm saying. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So the bell rings into two lockup, and Tatum Paisley delivers a pair of other hand chomps to JC Jane, but JC Jane responds with one of her own, and Tatum Paisley delivers another overhand chomp to JC Jane, but JC Jane responds with a drop toe hold to her, and Tatum Paisley sends JC Jane crashing off the ring apron on top of Fallen Haley and Lennon Reed, then lands a moonsault off the apron on all three members of Farno Influence, and she celebrates on the ring steps with Easy Dame. But JC Jane dumps Tatum Paisley back in the ring during the commercial break and fires up storms on her into the corner, and she connects with a duplex on her and goes for a pin. But Tatum Paisley kicks out, and JC Jane wears down Tatum Paisley with a submission hold, then turns her inside out with a clothesline back from the break and goes for a pin. Then Tatum Paisley kicks out, but JC Jane sends her crashing into the mat with a Hurricanrana off the bottom rope. But Tatum Paisley rocks JC Jane with an Inzanari to her through the bottom rope from the outside, then delivers a flipping kick from her back in the ring and goes for a pain. Then JC Jane kicks out. Then Nichols Vince pops up on the apron and distracts the ref as Dame slides Tatum Paisley a chair to use on JC Jane, and then Tatum Paisley uses the chair the back to her, but JC Jane takes advantage and rolls up Tatum Paisley, and Tatum Paisley kicks out, but JC Jane lands a super kick on her, and she lands a drop kick on Reeds through the bottom rope, but JC Jane lands a kick on Tatum Paisley off the apron and dumps her back inside, and she then delivers the rolling inserts to her and goes for a pin, but Tatum Paisley kicks out. Then JC Jane calls for Reed to slide her the NXT Women's Championship belt as Fallen Haley distracts the ref before she can, and Dame runs over Reed with the right hand and lands the belt to Tatum Paisley in the ring. Then Tatum Paisley assents to use it, but JC Jane picks up the belt before she can use it. Then the ref catches her and stops her. Then Tatum Paisley rolls up JC Jane, but JC Jane kicks out and sends Tatum Paisley crashing out of the ring as JC Jane argues with the ref over the belt. And then Tatum Paisley looks to get back inside the ring, and Shawn Spears and Nico Fence block Tatum Paisley's path before she can as Tatum Paisley stirred at them confused, and Dame then runs over her with a big boot and dumps her back inside the ring where JC Jane is waiting with a second rolling of sorts for the win, and JC Jane is your new NXT Women's Champion and became again as your NXT Women's Champion for the second time, I believe. The second time. You guys can question down below in the comment section. I believe this is her second time as the NXT Women's Champion. But anyways, guys, like I said again, how did this make sense with this whole story with the cooling? The stab Tatum Paisley in the back. Number one. Number two is a big reason with the number one with it. Is why would we had to have her have a short freaking title reign? I'll repeat it and I'll repeat it over and over and over and over again. Because what was the point of even giving her the title then? What was the point of even getting Tatum Paisley the NXT Women's Championship? Tell me. I want people to ask me that question in the comment on the replay review. But yes, guys, that's just my opinion on that. Then after the match, Easy Dame stares over Tatum Paisley as Spears and Nicole Fence stay behind her and having a six kicked her out of the cooling, and the trios continue standing tall as the show went off air. I'm sorry to tell you guys this guys, but this show was a very good show. I give it an 8.5 But that was the only mistake on this show, was that main event. It was a great match. Don't get me wrong. The match was great. I'm not blaming JC Jane. JC Jane is a great wrestler. They have good wrestlers in NXT and all the stuff. But it comes down to Shawn Michaels. I don't care. I don't care what Prince has to say or my friends have to say. But it comes down to Saudi. It comes down to TKO. It comes down to Shawn. It comes down to Shawn Michaels. It comes down to Triple H. It comes down to all of them because they work for them. They work for TKO. They work for Saudi. So go with that one, bro. I'm sorry to say that, but I could say what I want because this is my channel, not yours. But anyways, like I said again, guys, the show was very good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But that main event made me kind of pissed off. But anyways, guys, I give this show an 8 out of 10. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit those notification bells. As always, guys, this is Christopher Jackson, Denver 2006, CJD 2006. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always. And much love and peace out and take care.